Still to come on News Center 4, they actually do exist. Non-Bronco fans. We'll find out why they chose to pass on the men in orange.
Did you end up with a Cabbage Patch doll that wasn't the exact one you wanted? This lady can help. Here's the craze we know as Cabbage Patch dolls is a trend that may have a dangerous twist. Tom and Donna Rice of Westminster couldn't find genuine Cabbage Patch dolls for their two daughters. Instead, they bought imitation dolls from a roadside stand. Now they're afraid the doll's stuffing may be contaminated with kerosene or other chemicals, similar to contamination found in other imitation dolls found back east.
My main concern was them catching fire or the odorless herbicide or whatever it was that was sprayed on it.
You're convinced there's something wrong with them?
Yes, I am. Definitely. They smell awful.
The Rices tell News Center 4's Luann Aiken they've talked to their local dry cleaner about the dolls and have been told the toys can be cleaned and made safe. Nonetheless, Cabbage Patch dolls have become collector's items, and if you've got a doll that you're not happy with, you might want to grab a pencil and paper, because in Aurora there's a Cabbage Patch trading post. The originator got the idea when she couldn't get the dolls she wanted for her daughters. She started a hotline and put up flyers.
Okay, I'm going to give you a registration number, okay? It'll be 140. Now, give me your phone number, and if I get, someone calls me with the description of the doll that you're looking for, I will give you a call, okay? And there's no charge to register your doll. There'll be a $5 fee at the time that we make the trade, okay?
If you would like to take advantage of the trading post, you can call the Cabbage Patch hotline, 690-3088. One more time, that's 690-3088.
If you're lucky enough to own one of the genuine Cabbage Patch dolls, but it isn't the exact model you wanted, this Aurora woman may be able to help. Maggie is running a trading post hotline for people who want to trade for the Cabbage Patch doll they really want. If you'd like to know how it works, you can call the Cabbage Patch hotline at 690-3088. That's 690-3088.
It's 8:45. Unless you've been on another planet for the past year, you know all about the dolls known as Cabbage Patch Kids. And if you thought last year's Christmas craze was a one-shot fad, well, I've been doing some checking, and believe me, it's crazier than ever. Let's start with a little Cabbage Patch history. Most of us discovered these smushy-faced dolls about a year ago when we learned we couldn't get them. There were brawls in supermarkets with parents acting like children so they could get a doll that makes their children act like parents. The Coleco Corporation bought the design and concept from a guy named Xavier Roberts. Roberts came up with the idea of different dolls with different names and birth certificates. And let's not forget that Georgia hospital. It was here at the Babyland General Cabbage Patch that the dolls were supposedly born.
It's a little boy.
Okay, that was last year. This year, the Cabbage Patch craze is bigger than ever. It's a little more civilized, but one estimate predicts that by year's end, sales will top $1.5 billion.
Put your name on a list. How long does it take for the framing?
Okay, this is the loopy one. Do you have the shaggy type?
No. This is the way many parents will buy the dolls this Christmas. It's a Cabbage Patch trading post at the Romance Emporium in Clifton, New Jersey. Here, a seller, such as this woman, gets the doll through a regular retail store for $25 to $35 each. She sells them to the store for $40 each, and the store sells them to you for $60.
The dolls are just not available in the normal channels without a waiting time of 6 to 7 months.
By Christmas of this year, Coleco will have manufactured, since June of 1983, 20 million Cabbage Patch Kids. That's one Cabbage Patch Kid for every boy and girl aged 3 to 8 in Canada and the United States.
Are you getting criticism that this is some sort of marketing ploy to create more demand?
Well, I think we're getting the criticism, obviously, but I think understanding the number that we've just indicated, that you have to appreciate that it is the most baby dolls ever manufactured by anyone at any time in the history of the Western civilization.
Of course, it's not just the Cabbage Patch Kids that make this a marketing phenomenon. There are now preemies, koozas, and a variety of accessories. Here's a good example of how big this thing really is. We wanted to talk to a few kids who owned Cabbage Patch dolls, so we called public school number 87 here in Manhattan. They made an announcement in the school asking all the kids who owned Cabbage Patch dolls to bring the doll with them to school the following day. We thought we'd get 20, maybe 30 kids. We were wrong. this still does not explain the attachment of children to their dolls and why this has lasted yet another Christmas. For that, we turn to the experts.
It's just like pretending you have your own baby. I got it for my birthday. It's not like any other doll. When I saw all my friends get one, you know, I kind of wanted them more badly, so I got this one.
Now that you have it, is she everything you thought she'd be?
So-so.
As you probably noticed, though, she's keeping a very tight grip on that doll of hers. And one more sign of how popular the Cabbage Patch Kids are, they've got their own primetime TV special. It's called the Cabbage Patch Kids' First Christmas.
Would be dangerous to children.
The increasing popularity of Coleco's Cabbage Patch dolls has created a booming business for companies making counterfeits that sell well below the price of the originals. But many of these copies, usually imported from overseas, were sprayed with a chemical to imitate the original doll's baby powder smell. That chemical, according to the FBI, may have broken down and created a kerosene smell. That's what happened to the Altaffer family. Some of the counterfeit dolls were also sprayed with insecticides.
The best thing they can do right now is repackage the doll if in fact they smell something that smells like kerosene or if it's flammable, and repackage the doll, keep it away from the children.
Not all the Cabbage Patch lookalikes are dangerous. Paul Eichhorn operates a store that sells Patch Kids. They're not the real thing, but they're legal, and Eichhorn says they're safe.
The biggest difference is that the dolls have a label that says they comply with the Upholstered and Stuffed Articles Act, new material only, and they have to comply with that federal act.
The dolls causing the problems are counterfeits of the originals being sold as Cabbage Patch dolls, complete with a characteristic birth certificate. Gavin says those dolls were stuffed with questionable materials, and he's asking people to hold on to any suspicious dolls until the FBI's test results are in. They may still be safe, but just require a little airing out. Those results are expected sometime next week. Victor Avalos, 9 News.